All right. Oh my God. Just as soon as I hit the live button, you have to get out right now. Hold on. All right. It's a great start to the new year. All right. Hello, friends and brothers. Welcome to the first live broadcast of the new year. Glad to have everybody here tonight. How are y'all?
Great.
Doing great.
That's good. Glad to have all y'all here. So obviously we have Grand Lodge right around the corner, and that's on everybody's mind. And we're going to have our dinner coming up on that, which is going to be really exciting. Who all on the shows right now is going to the dinner? Got Tom,
Larry's going.
Larry, nice,
I'll be there, Daniel.
awesome. It's going to be what is this, year 3? It is going to be really good. So I'm looking forward to it, and I hope you all of you can make it. It's going to be great. What's going on with everybody Masonically right now? Anything exciting?
Not a
Not a lot of
chocolata.
Very cool. I will say, since I just saw Jason, what is going on? What's going on with this? Since I just saw Jason, and hang on, our live stream's being all weird. But anyway, since I just saw Jason, I'll say that if you're not following Jason, why don't you talk a little bit about the podcast and the latest episode while I'm getting this fixed. Jason Rockenberg. Putting you on the spot.
He looks frozen on my side, Justin.
Is he frozen? Okay. Sorry, I wasn't looking.
Or he's just ignoring you, one or the other.
I've seen that frozen look before, but
yeah.
I always thought that it was a glitch. I don't know.
Got you.
Could be real.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll wait till he's back and he could talk about that. Somebody talk about something interesting, because my live stream, my imagery is jacked up and I can't.
Well, Scott has something interesting going on this week. As a matter of fact, I forgot to buy my ticket. I need to go online and do that. I hope it's not too late.
I do?
Well, you're yeah? Isn't this week the week for the
Oh, yes.
Lodge of Light?
Yes. Yeah, I should probably be there. Yes, of course it is. Yes, that's Thursday. Yes. And if you would like to get a ticket, email him immediately. So he will send you an invoice.
Yeah, he sent me the email. I think it already has the
PayPal
opportunity. Yeah, I think it already does. I need to look at it real quick.
Dennis, what's going on with your camera tonight, man?
Well, I'm on my new computer, and I did not have everything set up yet.
Oh.
And now I don't know what the heck's going on. So for my virtual background, I said blur, but it's not accepting it.
There's a little blur going on for sure.
Just a little.
Do you have any other apps up that use your camera? I know we were talking about some programs earlier. Sometimes if you have other apps open, like OBS or anything that records, the computer only lets you use one camera, like one program with a camera.
No.
So,
that reminded me though that I needed to check to see if my yes, I have a little
Did you?
That's very
physical slider.
I have a little slider. I forgot that I had that thing.
Put it back.
That's the dumbest thing ever. I'm not ashamed of anything.
Wow.
I don't know why they put that on my computer.
What a boomer.
I know. Golly, that's so bad.
I do know. I did actually have to turn off Discord. I found it was interfering. Even if I wasn't using it, just having it running in the background, it would completely. My camera on Zoom would I'd be good for about 5 minutes and then it would just cut out. So I finally completely shut off Discord, and I haven't had any problems since then. So I've had other problems, but not that problem.
Not camera problems. Okay.
Yeah, not camera problems.
Jason, I was saying earlier, and you're kind of freezing, so I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah.
About your the podcast you edit in the last video that came out. If you just wanted to plug that real quick while we got an audience here.
Nah, that's all right.
It's all right.
No. The Masonic Shelf, we do 2 episodes a month. One is our regular episode, which is usually a book review. We try and every once in a while have an author on or a guest reviewer. But then midway through the month, we will have a what we call, or not, I'm sorry, at the end of the month, we'll have a short. And Dennis has done one. I've done one. We've had a few others. Brad Billings has done one. And they're intended to be about 10 minutes or less, or they're intended to be a short talk on a specific topic. And the latest one that just came out, I actually meant to share it to the inner circle and then forgot, and then I finally did it, was the guy who's sneezing right now, which is Justin Jones in all his glory.
Yep.
But yeah, it was a good talk. I mean, it's not anything that you guys would be surprised at. You know, that we've talked extensively about slowing down the process, but from what I understand, it is a you actually did it from a part of a book that you are going to be putting out
off and on.
eventually.
Yeah. I work on it off and on.
Off and on.
I was really impressed with how well you edited it, because there was lots of periods, because when I was on the Zoom, my kids were literally like bouncing off the walls in the next room. So I kept getting distracted. It was like lots of uhs. I was like, okay, don't record that. Start here, back up. And it was really like a 20-minute talk, because I read the entire chapter, and we got to the end. I was like, man, he cleaned that up nice. It was really good. So great job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. No, it was a good talk, and everything. So yeah, but I was able to get it pared down to 10 minutes or less. I even managed, when Dennis did his, I even managed to get his down to 10 minutes or less.
That's tough, man.
Which, as you know, can be quite the challenge.
It can be.
I know. Yes, you did a miraculous job with mine, because it actually looked like I was trying to do that. And that was definitely not the case. I was trying to keep it down to 19 minutes.
But anyway, check it out. It is a good video, and actually, it's for one of for our videos. We certainly are not viral as Masonic Improvement is, but it actually is getting some decent traffic. I mean, we only put it out December 31st. Not great timing to put it out on New Year's Eve, but that was kind of our schedule anyway. But anyway, we appreciate Justin doing that for us.
Oh, absolutely. And no one told me it came out. I was just scrolling through YouTube and I saw my name on the title. I was like, what's this? And then I looked at it. It's like, oh, it's the video we did.
Okay. I am a producer. I did not say I was a great producer.
No,
I don't necessarily
definitely a great producer. So yeah, check it out. It's a Masonic Shelf short, quality over quantity, Justin Jones's petition playbook on the Masonic Shelf podcast. So check it out. Make it go viral, because it is me, so I am partial to it. So
shameless self-promotion.
Shameless self-promotion, but thank you for having me on that. For sure. Brad, how you doing, bud? Brad Hoff? Everything good? Thumb up?
Yeah, everything's good. Good to be here. Love you guys.
It seems like I had something I was going to bring up with you, but I totally can't remember what it was now.
Well, I do have a little education thing with a guy from the I met him at Scottish Rite, and he's got that. I don't want to plug his channel on here, but he's got another channel on YouTube that he does like educational videos. Is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really good. Like, he's well researched.
That's good.
What are you trying to say about us? Dude, you just
No.
lost your subscription. I'm telling you.
No,
So-
he's got to come and give like an introductory to ancient mystery schools and stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty cool.
That is
Nice.
really cool.
Wednesday night.
That's a great topic right there.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell y'all, since you brought
That's a great topic to debate with Pete Norman when you're down there for the Lodge of Light.
Okay.
I will
Yeah.
sit right next to you and we can debate that topic with Pete. I love that topic with Pete. It's one of my favorites. So,
Yeah.
Sure,
I
you have
am
a
going to
hotel
St.
room.
Albans.
Yeah, I'm
this
sure you
week.
have a hotel.
yes.
Well-
yeah, because it will go long into the night.
Well, some people, I don't know. Let's just you may not take Dennis's advice on anything else after that. I'll just put it that way. It'll be a good conversation, but I was thinking recently about a educational piece that I'm thinking about putting together, and this sounds really condescending, but I think maybe it's something we all need to bring to our lodges, because when we talk about these elaborate things, let me back up. When you're doing education, you have to scaffold, right? You have to start with the very basic concepts and move your way up. And I mean, that's just how you teach people. So I'll just be blunt with y'all. My educational piece is, what is Freemasonry? Because we have a lot of Masons. I wouldn't even say a lot of Masons. We have a lot of members in our fraternity who don't understand the most fundamental concept about what our fraternity, what our brotherhood actually is. And I know there's a lot of people that say, well, it's kind of up in the air. I think there's some things that are up in the air. There's some things that are kind of ambiguous, but there's a lot of things that are not. There's a lot of things that are not. And I think there's historical precedence in that. And when we try to be all these things that we're not, we kind of lose sight of what we are. And so if we, Jason, wow, Cody. Anyway, I should be talking about Rockenberg. I don't know what he said though. So when we talk about these higher level things, these educational pieces, when you have these people that are sitting in there that think that we are like a charity or a service organization, and that we should do nothing more elaborate than fish fries, when we're talking about, if they think the most elaborate thing we should do is fish fries and scholarships, and we're over here talking, and this is not to blow like any educational piece out the water, but we're over here talking about like astronomy or the mystery schools, or why dues should be higher than the R, why degree fees should be higher than the R. When everybody thinks it's like this Lions Club,
they think it's free masonry.
They think it's free masonry. Maybe we should call it expensive masonry. But they think it's like they think it's just like a Lions Club or a Rotary with ritual. They can't understand the justification for these more expensive fees, or why we're talking about these esoteric concepts that are totally alien to them.
Nobody said the Elks, Jason. You're the one with the shameless plug.
Hey,
I just said it on live YouTube, huh?
Jason, you would love Michigan. When I was up there in the UP, the Upper Peninsula, for those of you that aren't up there, but every town had an Elks Lodge of some sort, and that is a big thing there, because they love to drink, and so they go to the Elks Lodge and they drink and they do all their fundraisers and everything. You won't find many Masonic lodges up there, but every town has an Elks Lodge.
Well, that's because there's no internet up there. So they have nothing to do but drink.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't disagree with that.
Or maybe they're just already all perfect ashlers. Did you ever think of that?
Oh my goodness, here we go.
I was say, Dennis, you just got like 3 viewers riled up on the,
I know,
on the live,
you just took it way too far,
Yeah.
Jason.
Have you met a Uber before? It's not a. Don't worry about that.
I totally agree, though. There's and it's something that we've talked about for years. that there is a breakdown because we've been diluted over the years in Freemasonry. The true nature of Freemasonry itself has been lost to the craft. The craft no longer resembles the craft that it originated as, in my opinion. And are we some sort of form? I think so, because I mean, otherwise, why would we be on the show right now? Why would we be discussing these topics, and why would we travel around, the state aimlessly giving educational pieces all the time if there wasn't some resemblance of it? But I don't think that the majority understands the true nature of where we come from,
or what we are.
Clearly defined on page 11 in the monitor. That's where it's clearly defined.
You're absolutely right.
Every man hears it right before he is led into the lodge to be initiated. Page 11.
Wait, Scott, that means I have to take the
purpose.
That means I have to open my monitor and take the cellophane wrapper off.
Yeah, you got to take the cellophane off.
It works better if you take the cellophane off before you open it, Daniel. Just so you know.
And the ones with the loose leaf, those aren't the correct ones. The ones that are correct are the Cody Stewart monitors that came out a couple years ago.
Are those back in stock now? Because I have the loose leaf version of the Cody Stewart one, but
oh my gosh!
When I went down last year, they didn't have any of the hardbound ones.
You lose. You snooze, you lose. I bought 5 of them when they came out. Yes, in fact, mine's just out of reach. Oh wait, do I have it on my bookshelf? I don't know. I usually carry that one in my backpack with me.
Well, Tom has my Joel P. Lightfoot version. He never gave it back yet. I guess he's still.
I have that as well, but I purposely bought the loose leaf version of that one so that I could scan it into the computer and save it as a PDF so I could search it.
That's smart.
It makes it easier to search it.
Very clever.
But I do need the hardback copy because all of the books on my bookshelf I like to have hardback.
But the issue with page 11 is it doesn't get done right, or it doesn't get done at all in a lot of lodges.
Would you like to read it?
You want me to read it?
I've referenced it before.
I don't have a copy in
mine.
Got it. I got it right here.
Scott's got it.
So it says, in fine, the design is to make its members wiser, freer, better, and consequently happier men. These purposes are accomplished by means of a series of moral instructions taught according to ancient usage by allegories, symbols, types, figures, and lectures. It is.
It's very straightforward, right?
With this brief and general explanation, is it still your desire to proceed? Everybody said yes.
Yeah. That's true. The issue is anytime you take something simple, people like to a great example would be like, not to get religious here, but like the teachings of Jesus. Whether you believe it or not, the teachings are great teachings, right? They're very straightforward. But how many denominations and forms of Christianity have sprouted out of just those simple teachings, right? So we have a paragraph in Freemasonry that is very straightforward that describes what we do.
That the page 11?
Yes, it's
regular page 11.
It's in the that's the 1982 version. It should still be the same. It's the one that's read to the person right before he's initiated.
Oh, okay. My favorite part of the monitor is XII on the new monitor, and it says these with other related and connected subjects are claimed to constitute a veritable system of science, philosophy, and moral enlightenment taught by a system of symbols and allegories, as well as by precepts and examples inculcated and practiced from remote ages in the ancient temples of many nations. Such ceremonies and their correlated teachings have sometimes been referred to as the mysteries of Masonry. with the same signification employed when one speaks of the mysteries of the Magi or the mysteries of Osiris, the Grecian mysteries of Eleusis, and other kindred rites practiced in the temples of initiation throughout the ancient world. That is my very favorite
and what
paragraph in the entire monitor.
And what monitor is that in? Repeat. Where'd you say that was?
That's Cody Stewart's monitor.
Cody Stewart monitor.
Yeah, that's the new one. That's the latest one, latest and greatest.
So I'm confused where this mentions fish rise.
What?
It's an allegory.
It's an allegory. Okay.
It sounds straightforward, but it's all meant to be an allegory.
And how it makes sense. I thought they just weren't. I thought the other guys just weren't being deep. It turns out it was me.
But wow. The thing is, though, is that in all reality, there is a place for the fish fry. Now,
Lions Club, Elks Lodge.
Hey! Now, me personally, I like the idea of the fish fry for some brothers getting together and enjoying each other's company. Good fellowship. Yeah. However, I don't like it using it as a fundraiser, and that's just me. I would rather us support our own bodies that we're a part of and our own charities that we say that we support. I think it should all come out of our pockets.
Well, if you're selling, and we say this a lot, if you're selling fish to keep your lights on, you're a seafood restaurant. If you're selling fish to give it away to charity, you're not being charitable.
That's transference of wealth.
Exactly. You're just transferring wealth somewhere else and taking credit for it. So it's neither one of those is really something that I would look up to in somebody, right? I mean, there's nothing wrong with owning a seafood restaurant, but if that's what you're going to do it. No one wants to. It's like a seafood restaurant, but there's a back room you don't go in because there's stuff going on back there, right? Like, why would you do that? Why would you have something like that?
If you're going to have a back room, make it a poker parlor.
Yeah.
But
it has a speakeasy downstairs.
Now that's my kind of back room. But the reality is that our forefathers that built these temples that we're using today, that was not their idea of what they were supposed to be used for.
And temple is the word.
That's exactly right. In fact, one of the most important things that temple was used for was the last rites of the Mason, because they didn't have funeral homes at that time. And so that was where the last rites of the Mason was performed. And that's where the body stayed until it was buried. And it was buried by its brothers. And so I'm sorry, I just don't think that it's a place for fish fries. Maybe for after the funeral, yeah, some fellowship, but not to support the funeral.
Well, there's a big difference between doing something for fellowship and doing it for keeping the lights on. And you could say, well, there's fellowship going on while they're doing it. No, it's 4 or 5 people, the same 4 or 5 people, and they're putting work in for non. It's like I really struggle to think of the benefits to this kind of behavior. And the issue is, I was thinking of an analogy of this the other day. Like, you're in a boat and like you're on the Titanic and you're looking around, there's other lifeboats. We're all taking on water. Like, for some reason, all these lifeboats have holes in them and everybody's doing the same thing as you sink. And you're just griping about the fact that you're sinking. And then there's one boat over there where they're bailing the water out and patching the hole. And they're like, oh, look at those snobs over there. They must think they're better than we are, not sinking. Right? Instead of like, hey, maybe we should do that instead of what everybody around us is doing. But that's the opposite fact. We have all these lodges and they're failing. Freemasonry is failing in a lot of places. And it's not because of Freemasonry itself. It's because it's the behavior of the members doing the exact same thing that every other failing lodge around them is doing.
There's I'm starting a paper. I was taking notes today about things that because it's a new year and I was invited to speak at the symposium coming up in North Texas, and I decided I'm going to speak on the things that we ought to be discussing in order to turn our lodges around, to get back to Freemasonry. And not one of them have to do with fundraisers or anything. And it all has to do with changing our own mindset first. It's, all outside problems are inside jobs, right? So to fix any outside problem, it's an inside job. And so that's where
that's deep. I like that.
That's where that discussion starts.
Yeah.
And I'm just taking it from there. And, I think it's really something that the guys will benefit from. So hopefully you guys will show up when I'm up there.
If you want to fix your lodge, the members have to fix this first.
Yes.
And that's,
well, and we have to help inspire them to do that, because they've, face it, the guys that have been supporting this Grand Lodge for the last 50, 60, 70 years, they grew up in this mundane world of fish fries. And so, when we think about it, and so they did join during that era that was a popular thing. And that was what was sold to them, just like we were sold other things as well. It's kind of like the endowments, right? So everybody was sold on the endowments that, you would never have to pay dues again. Buy an endowment, you never have to pay dues again. Well, that hurt the lodges, but it helped the Mason, but it hurt the lodges. But they were sold on that. So you can't go back and tell them, hey, you need to re-up your endowment, because that's not what they were sold. So you can't tell them that they have to change what their Freemasonry was. All you can do is try to get that buy-in to help them understand where the value is in trying something different. So that's, now y'all have all got a sneak peek on where I'm going with that. I started on that this morning.
Very nice. It's going to be a good presentation.
I hope so.
Everybody needs to. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to give some smart ass remark about myself, but you go right ahead. I got plenty of those.
Well, no, what I was going to say is this idea, it came, and I might have mentioned it before on here. This came out of the age of fraternalism. You had all different service organizations, and they believed that taking care of their community was important. Well, yeah, to an extent it was. All these other organizations had one thing that Freemasonry didn't at the time: mutual insurance. That's where it comes from.
Yes.
You had other members from other organizations who joined Masonry, and they brought those ideas into Masonry. That's where it comes from. And then they had the idea of, well, we need to move on and be more modern. And so then you get to the First World War, everything is patriotic. So we've got to be be service oriented, and we've got to attract new members. So be service oriented. That's where this comes from. And it's just been perpetuated over the years. Mm-hmm. And it hasn't, it got to a point to where they believed that, the mysticism, the education and all that was just a thing of the past, and this was the new thing to do. That's where it comes from. And it just, goes more and more and more to where now, and I've heard it so many times in a lodge, it's said that, we need to get more involved with the community. We need to go adopt a highway. We need to go pick up trash on the side of the road, because that's our purpose. That's what we're here for. No, it's not. We're here for this.
I was in a lodge.
On the heart.
I agree.
I was in a lodge a few years ago, and they brought that up, the highway thing. They're like, we need to adopt the highway so we can pick it up. And I had just joined this one. I moved off for a while. I was going to that lodge, and I stood up and I was like, dude, look around. Like, there's 2 people in this whole room that are younger than retirement age. Who's going to clean the highway? I'm not going to clean a highway. I'm not going to walk that. Right. I got other things I need to do. So are you going to vote for me to do the highway? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I 100% agree with you, Scott. And the thing, my opinion, take it for what it's worth, is there have been many times where Freemasonry has been trendy, but it's never Freemasonry's job to jump on what's trendy, if that makes sense. Like what we stand for and what we should be doing is tried and true. And you have these people today that are like, well, it has to be fast, it has to be quick, it has to be cheap, because that's how people are today. They expect everything. It's the age of Amazon. We can order something and get it tomorrow. But that's
instant gratification.
It's instant gratification. But that dopamine, that chasing that dopamine does things to your brain, but there's also things that actually, there's also benefits to actually working for something, getting into something that's exclusive and difficult, working through it, and coming through the other end successful. And it's an entirely different kind of mental high to do that. And it satisfies something that is innate in us as men, as humans, maybe. And so I can't speak for women. I've never been one, but as men, I could tell you there's something that is very innately satisfactory to that.
Well, for sure. I mean, who doesn't cherish the time that their first son or even second son, for their first time, come up to them ready to drink a beer? Mine just happened to be 5 years old when that happened, but they're old enough now. But we all mature differently. It took me a while, but who isn't proud of that first beer that you share with your kid, or that's just a joke. Is funny because I gotta sidetrack here. My younger son, or my older son, he's like 2 or 3 years old. I'm out there barbecuing and I have a beer sitting on the picnic table. My younger son sits on the picnic table and is watching me barbecue. And I go to turn all the meat, and when I turn back around, he has drank my entire beer. And it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. But he didn't even get drunk. That's what was crazy about it.
That's like when I was a kid and I ran downstairs and my dad had a drink sitting next to him, and I ran up there and was like, "Hey, can I have some of your soda?" And I knock it back and I get halfway through it and I realize that was a spit can.
Oh man, that's bad. But seriously though, I mean, those times are precious. Having those
that was not precious. That was not precious.
It was precious for your dad, I guarantee you.
I'm sure it was.
But having those rites of passage are important. Those lessons that we learn. I mean, that was a lesson you learned that you will never forget.
I won't forget
Instant
that. You're right.
Gratification does not pay off.
I vividly remember the texture and the taste and the temperature. I won't forget that. You're right.
That's funny.
Did you swallow it? Did you swallow it?
I went and put my mouth on the faucet in the kitchen, like literally on the faucet, just like sprayed my mouth out.
Oh man, you
power washed it.
Thinking about. Because I too have shared that experience. It wasn't with my dad.
Hey, talk about rites of passages. I think every man does that at one point in their life.
That, man, I'm a product of the 70s. A cigarette put out in the beer can. Oh my gosh, that's happened to me. But rites of passage are important to guys. It is, and that's part of the reason why we've got these young guys joining today. They need that rites of passage that they're not getting at home because they've grown up on the internet, and so they're missing certain things in life that not every that they're hoping to gain from other people. They're also not being raised in church so much anymore. Mm-hmm. So they're looking for that spiritual element, that part that's going to help them build their soul. And no, not necessarily their faith or their religion, but it'll help them build their soul because they're learning good moral and ethical lessons through the allegory.
And to be clear,
we have such great things to offer that we're missing by doing these fish fries.
Yeah, I mean, and we're definitely not a religion. Let's be clear. I don't want anyone jumping in and thinking we're saying we're a religion, but if you're doing your Freemasonry right, there's definitely something spiritual to it. And it definitely, like you say, it definitely supplements and polishes your other religious teachings elsewhere. Like if you're doing Freemasonry right, it is spiritual. I mean, there's nothing as spiritual as pulling that perfect barbecue out of the smoker before you sell it. I mean, it's just perfect. Or that perfectly fried fish. Like, it's just so spiritually fulfilling.
Yeah. Okay.
It's an allegory with hot grease.
It's an allegory.
It's an allegory.
It's allegorical.
You have to have the hot grease and the French fries.
The flames of purification.
That's right. Like a fish will rise to the top of the grease.
Do what?
Go visit San Marcos and tell me there's nothing spiritual in Freemasonry.
Exactly. Yes, I agree. And that's how that's the feeling we should get anytime we walk in our temples. And frankly, it's the reason why we should take our ritual so seriously, because that is supposed to prepare our hearts, minds, and spirits for that whole experience. It's supposed to prepare us.
Keep that in mind Thursday night too.
Yes, for sure.
The walk-in.
Yes, I've been to one, and I can't wait to go to this one. I'm excited. This will be Brad's first one, I think, though. I think he's coming.
Well, Albert Pike, he explicitly says in Morals and Dogma that he said, Freemasonry, while it is not a religion, it is worship. And so it's the idea that kind of what y'all have been talking about, but Albert Pike basically said the same thing, that you can basically get closer to the divine through Freemasonry, while it is not a religion.
And what I don't understand is, as much as we talk about the importance of education, the importance of developing ourselves and becoming better men, why Masonic lodges don't have just like the most amazing libraries in their building baffles my mind. It speaks a lot to the status of Freemasonry. Several years ago, I was visiting Fredericksburg, and it's not there now. Well, the town is, but the place I'm talking about is not. There was a bookstore downtown, and I went in there, and it was like a whole little room. It was just like, it is old books. It wasn't like a Barnes and Noble. It's like old books, like what's behind Jason there. And it was like a whole esoteric section. And I felt like Gandalf going back there. I needed like a big old pipe as I'm like turning through these pages, looking at this book. Every lodge should have something like that. Every lodge should have a library like that where you could just get lost. What's up, Jason?
And the worst. Go ahead, Jason.
Brad.
Oh, well, because you referenced the picture behind me, I will tell you that's not an AI picture. That's an actual picture from Guadalupe Lodge's library. And so if y'all are okay, I actually wanted to share a few things education related, if that's all right. Or
yeah, go. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. All right. Well, first off, yes. The secretaries, when I became secretary, as those that are secretaries know, just about 99% of it is on Grandview. There's really not a need to have a secretary's office unless you really want one. So we actually turned the secretaries, let me lower my hand. We actually turned the secretary's office into a library with comfortable seats in there. These books in particular right back here were in a back file room that nobody could see and were essentially just rotting away. So we actually, Robert Ostrike actually got these relatively nice bookcases donated. He got them donated because he donated them, put it that way. And then we put them all out there. And yeah, especially if you look over my left shoulder right here, these ones in particular are not in great condition. And when you move books around, you run the risk of making it worse. But also at the same time, like if nobody sees them, like what's the point of keeping them? So you sit them back there where they can't get damaged, but then nobody what's the point, right? So anyway, so there's that. Also, I think I've shared this before, but I may not have, but anyway, we, and I say we, I mean Guadalupe Lodge, Seguin Eastern Star, and the Seguin York Rite came together and actually bought a 72-inch flat screen TV on a cart to use specifically for our education. Now, Guadalupe Lodge on its own could have bought this TV. They're not that expensive, but the reason that we did that was because I get so irritated when everybody is sharing the same building, but everybody acts like if you use something of theirs that, well, that just can't be. That's our stuff, and you can't use our stuff. So I was like, you know what? If we're going to buy this, everybody's going to buy it, and it's going to be for everybody to use. Okay, so that's the thing. So now Guadalupe Lodge now has this nice 72-inch TV. Dennis Yates was the first one to
put together.
Help put together. He was the first one to use it.
Yes. Yeah, they invited me over just to put their TV together.
Right.
And then asked me to use it. And it's like, golly, man. And I just
yeah.
I did.
Hey, you can get off your cross there, Dennis. Anyway.
I did break it in.
He did break it in. Anyway, so and we have Starlink. So we have high-speed internet at Guadalupe Lodge with a nice TV. And this year I was originally going to be Worshipful Master. I ended up holding off for a year. I should be coming in as Master, but I had already set up a slate of speakers to bring education. I'm putting together my list of speakers for now what should be my Worshipful Master year. But I've done this at Victory Lodge. I've done this at Guadalupe. I've done it through the York Rite, all these speakers and stuff. But, I started realizing there's some other guys that, I would really like for them to come and do a talk, but they're in, say, Arkansas.
Oh, man. So I drove all that way and I could have just done it on TV.
Well, so here's the thing. So now that we have this whole set up, one person that always does a great job and everybody wants to hear is Brad Kohanke, but he's in Arkansas now, so he is scheduled to be the first one that we are going to have, and I want to make this clear: this is going to be after Lodge. We are not going on Zoom during a stated meeting for anybody out there that's listening to see what charges can be filed. This will be, we'll open and close the meeting, and then Brad will come on to give a talk. Is it the best scenario? No. Would I much rather have Brad there to talk with guys and answer questions and, do the whole, yeah, absolutely. But it's also like, you know what? We have this technology now, and you know what? This will be somebody that guys won't be able to hear a lot. Why not? Let's give it a try. The second one is going to be Zachary Haston is going to be doing this, and he's up in Arlington. It would be unreasonable to try and expect him to drive 8-hour round trip just to come to one night. So you know what? We're going to try it, and we're going to see, and see how everybody reacts to it and everything. But the idea is we want to continue to have education, and I want them to have the experience of, because I travel, I can hear these guys talk, because I go to other places, but a lot of these guys just don't. And to try and have people come in 5-6 hours at a time to try and drive just to come to Guadalupe Lodge, it's not always feasible, if you can coordinate somebody's schedule. But anyway, that's just, we're getting to a point where I've kind of gotten at least the guys in my lodge to really start thinking outside of just the stovepipe that they've been in. Like, let's let's see how we can make this happen instead of just saying it can't happen. Let's try and make it happen. So anyway.
And all you listeners out there, he heard it on Masonic Improvement First.
Well,
there you go.
And that was one of the reasons that.
No, remember when we talked about it with Steve Almager about what they do in New Mexico? They've been doing it for several years now. I mean,
I've been
exactly preaching
right.
it ever since.
Yeah,
because I think it's a great idea.
But there's always that limitation. Like up until this year, we didn't have a reliable internet connection. We might could have done it with like a little hotspot or something like that, but then it fades in and out and this and that. But this last year with Starlink, it's like we now have reliable internet connection. We spent the money now. We've got a nice big TV. Let's give it a shot. Let's see how it goes. So
anyway. I think it's a great idea, and I would even recommend to you to do like they do over at Nat Washer Lodge, and when they have a guest speaker, even when they're in person, they're always there in person, but they always open lodge and then call to refreshment and go downstairs and do it during the refreshment, and they sit there and drink coffee or whatever. Now I'm sure it's a scotch, but they drink coffee and have dessert while they listen to the presenter, and then they go back up to lodge to finish their work.
Yeah,
that way they can be more exact on the time constraints of the person coming to give the talk, and it makes it a little bit easier for them as well. So you might keep that in mind, that you have a definite cutoff time, and if you need to, then cut it short, go to refreshment, go do it, and then come back to lodge, so it doesn't infringe on the time of the people that are doing the discussions, the talks.
Nat Washer also has the advantage, so whenever people start falling asleep during the meetings, they could get their ghost. They get their ghost to come bang on the door, wake everybody up, or throw a. Was it you, Dennis, that had a picture fall on you?
Scared the crap out of me. No, I didn't have the picture fall on me, but I was upstairs by myself taking pictures before lodge, because it's a cool lodge, and so I was up there taking pictures, and I'm in the lodge room, and I hear this thug back behind me in the ante room. I open the door and there's nobody there. I thought somebody had walked up the stairs and knocked over something. And I opened the door, nobody was there, and it's like, shit, it's time to go downstairs. So I went back downstairs.
You realize you're all by yourself?
My dinner and waited until I had a partner to go back up with me. I waited for the buddy system, because that was a great experience.
So when you can outrun.
Dude, when I was a secretary at Brazos Union, I used to go up there and work on meeting minutes all the time. I swear to God, that building has some unique sounds. I would hear stuff upstairs, downstairs, and there was one time so much that I went upstairs to the commandery to make sure no one was there.
I'll just say, Larry, I see your hand up. I'll just say real quick, the lodge here in Grandview, they have a camera. I don't know where this is, like one of my favorite topics, so I don't mind if we go off a little bit on this, but they have a camera in the main room when you come in, just in case someone like breaks in or something. But it's also one of those cameras that has like human recognition, so you can see like the skeleton, like the frames. Yeah. And the secretary was sitting there alone one night, and he had the camera up here on the side, and he saw like this frame person walk across the room. He's like, I am out of here. Time to go home.
Oh man, that would be bad.
What do you got, Larry?
Well, I'm a retired school teacher, and used to keep a water pistol. If a student went to sleep, I'd hit him with that water pistol. But the principal took it away from me. He said I couldn't do it. It was believing the students. So.
You should have sprayed him with a pistol. Little, get out of here.
I wish I'd thought about that.
No, I've seen people do that, clips of like choir teachers, like if they're off key, and I thought about that, but with this day and age, they probably wouldn't want you bringing something like that to school. But it would have been great.
Back in my day, it was a slingshot.
Yeah,
that'll work.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so that was that's cool. Lodges are interesting because they have a lot of history like that. They're usually old buildings. You have a lot of people that are members that it's important to them. They care about it. And so it's not surprising to me when you see a lot of old buildings that are kind of creepy to be in at night.
You know, going back to where we were originally in our conversation, we were talking about how they are temples, and in that the members, they supported their community already, and it was like a self-insured deal that the members supported the community already. And what's interesting is that's back when, you know, all your shakers and movers of the county were members of the lodge.
Yeah.
And you know, all of our largest houses here in Goliad are all owned or were built by previous members of, most of them past masters of Goliad Lodge. And even our courthouse was built by a member of our lodge and was awarded the job by a Mason from the master of our lodge. He was the mayor at the time. And even, you know, okay, so now people say, well, what about farmer and all this kind of good stuff? And, you know, all the big ranches that are owned around our county, they were all owned by the Masons of our lodge. And so, you know, talking about what the lodge was for and the legacy that those members built for us to use today. And Goliad has the oldest lodge in continuous use in the state of Texas.
How old is it?
In continuous use. So we were chartered in 1852. The lodge was built in 1854. The roof came off of it in 1902 in the tornado.
I just need a number, bro. Just give me a number.
Put a new roof on it, and rebuilt it with adding a rear extension to the lodge to support more membership in 1907.
And in 10 minutes,
the project was finished.
It's gonna be a few years older before he finishes explaining.
I'm telling you, man, I'm proud of my temple. I'm proud of it.
How old is it? Tell me.
It's probably we're fixing to have our 175th anniversary.
Thank you. Wow.
2027 is our 175th anniversary.
That is really cool, though. That is cool.
And
we just had our
old lodge, and it's the oldest lodge in continuous use. Now there are older lodges chartered, but it's the oldest lodge building in continuous use.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah, that's something special.
We were talking a bit about like if a Mason says that they feel like we should be involved in the community, we should be supporting our community. Scott touched on that earlier. I don't disagree that as Masons we should be involved in our community and stuff like that. As Masons, it's not the lodge's place. It's not the place of the organization. It's supposed to make us the kind of men that are willing to go out and be involved. Like you should be.
That's not an institutional involvement. That's an individual involvement.
You should be able to look at the leadership in your community, and I'm not saying Masons should run everything, but you should be able to look at the leadership in your community and see that we are stepping up and being involved in that. And the issue I have, and I was thinking about this today, as a matter of fact, because I was sitting at my local park, and they've been working hard to improve it, but just half-assing everything, and it looks awful. And it's like, man, I can't be on everything, right? And I'm just one voice. And the thing is, like, but even if a lot of Masons got involved, they have the same approach to their lodge right now. Like they're happy with things done halfway at their lodge. So even if they got involved in the community, it wouldn't necessarily improve. That's why I was talking about that presentation earlier, starting at the absolute ground floor and building this place up, because we have to have high expectations in the lodge and raise these people from Mr. to Master, raise them to have high expectations in the lodge and themselves. I don't care if they're 18 or 80 years old. You came here because you wanted to improve yourself. We read that page, I don't remember, page 11. We read it to them, or we should have, in the ante room, and they said yes. So they agreed to what we told them this organization is about. They said okay. And so if they're willing to do that, we have to level them up. And when you go into a Masonic lodge, it's like if you go into a rich person's house, you have certain expectations. If I was to go to Elon Musk's house, I would expect drive it up. It's a really huge mansion and it's really nice inside. If I'm going to an organization where these men say that, hey, we take good men and make them better, we work to be the best versions of ourselves, I would not expect to go into a room that has clutter everywhere when I go in. It stinks. There are yellow towels in the ceiling. We're eating like lukewarm spaghetti off styrofoam plates, and they're telling fart jokes over here. This guy's being racist. I would not expect that. And I would not expect them to fast track me in and for them to be cheap. And so we have to start building that there at the lodge. And then when these guys are growing and they're developing, then they get involved in the community and they have high expectations also. And they know how a meeting should be run. They know how to use committees, and they know how to get things done. What was your correction, Dennis?
I didn't have a question.
Oh, I thought you had a correction in chat.
Oh, I said that's correct.
Oh.
Josh is past master at Goliad 94 as well. And he said the building is 172 years old. And I said, correct, 1854. That makes this year 172 as 2026, and then next year will be 173. But the lodge as a membership was chartered in 1852, which makes next year the 175th for them, for the lodge.
And you could go sit in the meeting, and some of the past masters will stand up and be like, I remember when this lodge was founded.
That's not how I had it.
That's not how we did it in my day.
Yeah. What I'm really hoping will happen, I'm really hoping it'll happen, and I'm hoping that the master of the lodge at that time will be interested in doing it. I hope that we can get to do like a candlelight lodge in period uniform or period costume.
Which period?
On that for
the 70s, 1800s.
Yeah,
Pilgrims.
That's my year. With the big round glasses, blue shades.
Put some shag carpet in the center.
Smoke some opium. We just got rid of that shag carpet. I don't want you joking
Bring
about
it back.
Everybody in leisure suits.
That's too fresh, man. That's just too fresh.
You mean they actually threw it away? They should have put it in the back room with all the books.
Dude, it was just like throwing away a body. So when we
how would you know? Never mind. Don't answer that.
When we redid the floors, Scott and I started rolling up the carpet, and we got to a point to it. It's like, oh shit, I'm gonna get kicked out of the East. I was master at the time, and Scott was the senior warden.
Scott who?
And he said, Scott McMahon. He's the director at La Bahia.
Bradson made a face. He's like, I don't remember any of this.
And Scott goes, well, I don't think you're going to get kicked out of the East, but I might not make it to the East. And so we rolled this thing up, and we had one of the brothers. We called on Patterson to come in, and he backed his truck up to the side of the building, and we had the carpet rolled up, and we hoisted it out the side window, and it just did a shoo, 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 and bam, right in the back of the truck. And
nice.
And it was hauled off to another brother's ranch, and it was burned on site. So there was no coming back. That was a great experience. So, note to self, we know how to get rid of it and get rid of it good.
Well, sometimes you just gotta. There was an old counter at one of my lodges, and it was in the way, and it was ugly, and a brother leaned on it too heavy one day after the meeting, and it broke. It's like, well, dang, we might as well just tear it all out now. And we committed. It was committed at that point. It was already broken, and so sometimes you just got to do it. You just got to do it.
Yeah. in fact, that's part of my talk as well. One of the notes that I have is that there's no turning back. You have to make a change and not look back. You have to make that change and make a decision to go forward and make that change and don't look back. Because if you doubt yourself, you're never going to see that result to completion.
Yeah.
You will start doubting yourself, and then you're going to self-sabotage your efforts, and everything will fizzle out. If you keep the momentum going, then you'll find that completion and you'll find the joy in the end result.
I'll say this. Once you
it's a lot like learning ritual.
Yes. But I like what you said about you can't go back. You can't go back. Once you commit to it, you can't do it. And there's a lodge in my district that I'm really proud of. I taught them a lot, and I'm not trying to be conceited, but one of the few lodges that is actually receptive to good ideas. And so I taught them a lot, and they've committed to these things. It's just been in the leadership, and they're ingraining it in everybody that comes in. And he called me one day, the past master, he's pastoral master, and they had a petitioner come by, and he was visiting for a while. And he's like, "Why do we have to visit for 6 months? Like, I don't agree with that." And he explained why. He's like, "Well, when I get in, we're going to change that." And the brother that called me, he's like, and I told him right then, if he thinks that's what he's going to do, he's not going to make it to EA. He's going to get voted out. It's just not going to happen. Because if you, and we said this before on the show, and he said something very similar. We take good men and make them better. And if you know better than we do, we have nothing to offer you.
Nope.
So,
I don't need you.
I don't need you.
I don't need you.
That's what he just has one vote. So obviously he can't keep anybody out, but, it's like, you will not make it. You will not get in this lodge with that kind of mentality. And after a while, that same brother, he's like, I see now why we do it that way. And he's in now. He's a very good brother, but no turning back. This is what we do, and you stick to your guns. And if people don't agree with it, we're not for you, and you can't please everybody.
Now that we've taken a breath, you guys can jump in at any time. I've noticed that we've been just really talking and talking and talking. This is a very passionate topic of mine. I love this topic. All of these points, as you can tell.
Let me share a quick, well, I don't know about quick, since we were talking about them earlier. I'm going to share a allegory that Pete Norman shared when we got on the subject of, lodges, fish fry lodges and stuff like that. So think about, and you can use this with anything. He said model train. So think about if you had like a club here in College Station in Bryan. It was the Model Trains Club of the Brazos Valley.
Yes, I like that.
And they, you were a model trains enthusiast, and you were new to town, didn't really know that many people, so you're like, hey, I'm gonna go to this club. And then you go to this place, and they don't talk about model trains. All they do is just go and read meeting minutes from the previous month, and they talk about doing a fundraiser for keeping their building up, and then you start to ask yourself, are they ever going to talk about model trains or show their model trains? I want to bring mine for everybody to see. And so the person asks somebody there, when are we ever going to do this? Oh, we don't do that here. Would you stick around there?
Absolutely not.
Exactly.
Fair point.
Yes.
Applies with us.
Yep. 100%.
A bowling club that doesn't bowl. A train club that doesn't have trains.
Well, a bowling club that doesn't bowl can still sit there and drink beer. We can't even drink beer in our lodges.
Yes, we can.
Not in our lodge.
Agree to that.
Oh, not in the lodge room. Yeah, you're right. That is true.
That's funny.
No, that's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up. Anyone else have anything? Well, it's 10 p.m. I think it's been a good conversation. I think it's probably a good time to go into final thoughts. No one really. I don't want to monopolize all the time, and Dennis doesn't want to either. So
I really like this picture in the chat. That's really cool.
That is a good picture.
Oh.
That's really neat.
I don't like to open the chat when I'm hosting because it kind of moves everything over on the live. So if someone says something in chat that everyone doesn't need to see, it'll kind of move over there. So if I'm not active in our chat on Zoom, that's why. Because as soon as I click it, it pops over on my screen and then it pops over on the live too. So it's like, well,
I can't believe we haven't had any crazy comments from YouTube tonight.
It's been slow. It's been slow. Everybody. Yeah, I mean,
everybody's in agreement.
You didn't say enough crazy things yet, Dennis. So you know.
Yes, we did not bring up spirituality and
channel your Alex Jones here.
Yeah, right.
You offended all the people from the UP, and that's where all the crazies are, I guess. So
screw this, I'm going to the Elks Lodge.
There you go. That's funny.
Yeah. Well, they don't have internet there, so I'm not worried about it.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll have you know that
there we go.
Plenty of Elks Lodges that have internet access. It may not always work.
With looking at the picture behind Jason again, you notice the books that are below the books that he was pointing to, and on the right hand side of Jason, say something real quick so everybody can take a look.
Something real quick.
So witty.
Bottom corner. Okay. So in the bottom corner.
What a dad thing to say.
There you go. I know.
I was like, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, if I was him, I would say something witty. It is like, sure enough, there he goes.
So those
Daniel's over there too. He's like, yeah.
Yeah, they're all jumping on that crazy train.
I'm laughing too hard to even find the mute button.
Those books are actually the annual communications books that we used to get. We used to get them in hardback form, and the sad thing is that in most Masonic lodges, that is the library that they have.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have Mackey's Encyclopedia. They don't have Morals and Dogma. They don't have the Book of Words. They don't have Esoterica. They don't have those other kinds of books that are going to challenge their membership esoterically.
Yeah.
Heck, most of them don't even have a current monitor. I mean, when I became secretary of the 2 different lodges that I'm secretary of, I actually noticed that and went and bought monitors for every station in the lodge, and so that we would have them.
I can't believe 2 lodges voted you to be secretary, dude.
I know.
One, okay, but 2 was like,
I know.
For punishment.
Yes, exactly. So, and then also the same thing with the law books. It's just wasn't a priority to them. So, brothers, if you have extra books that that your kids aren't going to want or something like that, like I'm talking extras, like I'm really my oldest son is getting old enough. It might be time to donate one of my sets of my books to the lodge.
I'll say this.
I have 2 of everything for my boys.
If you're going to donate to the lodge, get one of those. I don't know what it's called, but you like squeeze it on the page. So like I was at Waco Lodge and I picked up a book and it said like property of Robert Marshall. Like you squeeze the
right.
It like imprints. It imprints. It doesn't do a lodge seal. It was his personal book, but it like imprints like who the book belongs to. If you're gonna just loan it to the lodge, but if you want to buy it on the lodge's behalf and donate it to the lodge, do that anyway and get something like that for the lodge and do that for the books, not the old books, obviously, but like do something like that.
The lodge already has a lodge seal. Every lodge has a lodge seal. So
yeah,
they can.
Oh, you're right. They can. Well, I still wouldn't do that with the really old ones, but yeah, you're right. They can do the lodge seal on all the new books that are donated. That way, they're just there. I mean, nobody steals things, right? But people borrow things and then they forget it's there. Well, they're not supposed to.
Why would you not do it to the old ones?
because my OCD would not forgive me if I permanently left a mark like that on like an old book.
If you're worried about permanently defacing or damaging in the process of putting in the imprint?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I can see your concern, but I really don't think that if you utilize that seal embossing tool correctly, you're going to damage anything. You're just going to put the lodge's mark on that book. That I feel like is absolutely appropriate for every item in a lodge library.
I'm not saying, I mean, that's just me. That's just me. Like those books behind Jason, like it would physically hurt me to do that to something that old. It's just me being weird. But if your lodge is cool with it,
then
go for it.
I'm just going to call you a big old wussy.
With old books, I have, yeah.
So with that being said, if there are any lodge members out there that want to buy a set of the encyclopedia, the Mackey's encyclopedias, I have a few for sale. I need to see what the going rate is for them. But if you would like to buy them for your lodge and have them for your lodge, then, that's, I know where there's 4 sets right now available.
I put my name on the list. I know Brady is trying to put their library back together, and they're probably going to be starting from scratch. So yeah, put my name on that list, and I'll see about getting a set for Brady Lodge.
Going for Tree Fitty.
Well,
if it's Tree Fitty, it's Tree Fitty. That just means I got a DoorDash an extra 3 days.
Yeah, right. I don't want to break anybody. It'll just be what the going rate would be if it could be, sold or whatever. Maybe a little bit of a discount from what it could be since it's going to a lodge. But yeah, if anybody needs that, just let me know. I'll definitely keep you in the loop on that, Byron.
Thanks for hopping on, Scott. Appreciate your input tonight. Always good to have you. Always good to see you.
You should have given his final. Hey, give your final thoughts. If you're leaving, give your final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Take care of yourself and each other.
Be fruitful and multiply.
There you go. All right, y'all have a good one.
Take care, Scott.
Yeah.
Trying to beat that, Dennis.
I know. Damn.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and do our final thoughts.
Back me into a corner on that one.
Let's go into that. So who's got something they want to add before we wrap up tonight? You can talk about what you learned tonight, how inspirational Dennis is, any of those things. Byron, what do you got?
Well, I'm not gonna touch any of that stuff. All I'm gonna do, because I got on here so late. I literally came on as you were like, "Well, look, it's 10 o'clock. Let's go to final thoughts." So I would like to hang out a little after if we can. Obviously that's up to y'all. But let's talk about, privately. Let's talk about our plans for fun during Grand Lodge.
Okie dokie, we can do that. Anyone else?
I just learned tonight that fish fries are allegories, and I have to look for those lessons a little deeper.
Oh my gosh, here we go.
You got to go deep into that oil with your hands.
Deep now.
That's what the allegories are. That's where the secret word is. You have to go all the way into the bottom of the oil.
You get bonus points if you reach in while it's hot with your bare hands.
Well, yeah.
So does that mean the secret word is actually peanut?
It's tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce.
Tartar sauce.
No, you reach your hand into that oil, you're going to go fish paste. Okay. All right. What else we got?
So, a few weeks ago, you guys were talking about the veil. I've been kind of stuck on that idea for the last few weeks, and just really, and it kind of goes along with what you're all talking about tonight about education. and how important providing educational topics and talking about masonry in lodge or at your lodge or with your lodge members, and not the mundane stuff all the time, but actually talking about masonry. So that's kind of why I invited the one fellow over on the 25th to come to Royce City. He's he kind of I'm sure you know him. The guy's name is Nick Jones.
Yeah,
he's from the Dallas Scottish Rite. He does a really good job on the degree work. Like he's really really good. So anyway, I had been talking to him and we decided that he was going to come over. So and we're leaving it open to non-Masons as well, because I've got a couple of guys that are interested in Masonry, and so they're going to come partake as well. So
very cool. That's a great idea. I dig it, man.
So anyway, that's really all I got.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Well, you got the Rackenberg.
Yeah. So as my final thought, I was very, very fortunate to get to see yesterday Carlton Newberry's son become a Master Mason. If you're on Facebook, you couldn't have missed it because at least probably 6 or 7 people posted about being there. But I guess for me, having a son who's now a Master Mason, Jeff, who's on here, he was there with his son. So I looking back, my son was actually in San Antonio. I wish I had thought about bringing him along, but it was good to see that, because I think it's been a while since we've seen sons coming up. I think for a long time, there's almost an entire generation of men that remember their grandfathers being Masons. They don't remember their fathers. So like there's like a generational skip there. And so to me, it was good to see a son learning about and seeing enough about Masonry that he wants to follow what his dad is doing. And this is Carlton's second son that has done this. He already had one son that had already become a Master Mason. So it was exciting to see, and also to sit there with Jeff and his son as well, being a part of it. It gives hope for the long-term success of Masonry, to see that at least in some small ways it is being passed down. So that was my final thought. I was glad to be a part of it.
Well, thank you for sharing that. That's very cool.
Yeah, and there were close to 100 people there too.
That's cool.
Yeah, 82 was the official count.
The final number was actually 84.
84. There you go.
84.
Nice.
Because that guy right there just showed up as one of
them. Josh, while you're talking, you got anything?
Yeah, go ahead while you're making funny faces at everybody.
Well, that's just my natural state. No, I just what Jason said, I was also there as well with Jeff and Jason. So we had people, as they said, from all 4 corners of the state of Texas were there. At one point, we weren't sure that the lodge wasn't going to implode because of how many people we had there. I was fortunate enough that Carlton asked me to be part of the degree team, so I was able to be part of that degree team. So that was pretty cool for me. But yeah, it was pretty spectacular and probably the longest Master Mason's degree I've ever been in. It was about 3 hours that we were up there in Tiled Lodge. So
wow.
But yeah, it was very, and Jeff and Jason can tell, it was really cool because once the actual degree part was over, it was, this brother talking about this and giving this advice and this, and then Carlton and bringing David up and just talking. So it was pretty cool to see that camaraderie and Carlton. And Carlton will even say it's the only time that we've ever seen him speechless, if you know Carlton. So that was pretty unique, but it was a pretty good day all the way around, and it was good to be. It was a great day to be a part of Masonry.
And one additional thing I forgot about this. As you know, there is a long form lecture of the master's degree, and the only person that I knew that did it was Ron Havens. I have now learned that Zachary Haston also does the long form lecture, and he actually brought the master's carpet from Arlington Lodge. So that was neat to see, and it was like, oh, I now know somebody else that can do the. Good to know.
Somebody that can do the long term.
He may ultimately come to regret.
Someone that can do the. Yes.
And the other coolest thing that we saw there, and Jeff and Jason back me up on this, is that Robert, which is Carlton's son, was obligated on his great grandfather's Bible that he was obligated on.
That is cool.
Was it five?
I think it's 5. Yes.
Yeah, 5 generations of Newberries have been obligated on that Bible.
I thought Carlton was saying it was 4. 4 generations.
It's 5 generations. Five people in 4 generations.
Okay.
Yeah, because the sons are the same generation.
Yes.
Yep.
That is cool.
That is still wicked cool.
Yeah, that's a family treasure right there.
Can I jump back in for just a second, please?
Yeah.
Do we know anybody who's doing the long form on the EA degree?
Waco 92 has a guy, but I couldn't tell you who it is. Or they did have a guy.
Thank you.
But yeah, every time I've ever tried to learn the long form, I get called to do a lecture, and I'm always halfway or a quarter of the way, and it messes up. So I have held off on learning it. Maybe someday in the future I will do it.
Excuses.
I know, dude. I'm either.
We all have them.
I either do the long.
Dennis, do you know the long form?
No, but I don't claim to know any of them. I don't claim to know any.
I never claim to know anything. If I learn, look, if I'm going to do the long form, I either have to do the long form or nothing at all. So if I'm halfway through,
Dennis does is the long form. What are y'all talking about?
That's a fact. That's a fact, and that's something that I was trying to make a joke of with Jason is Ron Havens. So now he knows somebody that can give the shorter form of the long form of the lecture. Because anybody that knows Ron Havens knows that he talks so freaking slow. It'll take 5 minutes for one sentence.
So the short long form.
Yes.
And I will tell you, when Zachary was doing
Zachary just hopped on and he said he does the long form EA too.
Oh, nice.
Right on. Okay, no, because that's something that I wanted to learn early and started, kind of teaching myself, and then I fell out of it, and now I don't have the
Zipper.
Yeah, the blue book.
It's green now.
Because
it's not green.
It's green now, but here's the thing: the blue book.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Together. Yeah. Okay, and it made learning the long form a whole lot easier.
Is the long form even in the green? I don't have the green. I still use the old blue one.
No, that's not in the green.
Yeah, I don't like
and
that.
The blue has inaccuracies that were corrected in the green. So
as you tell everybody how much of a cheater we are, I would just like to say, I'm glad you're on, Zach.
I'm that guy. I am that cheater.
Yeah,
me too. Well, I'm glad you're on, Zach, and everybody. Just so that you know, Zach Haston is our
birthday boy.
Leader. He's a birthday boy, and he's our discussion leader. He is our guest speaker for the Masonic Improvement Dinner. We love you, Zach. I'm so glad that you're coming on. I just wanted you to hear that from me firsthand while you're listening to the show.
And happy birthday, Zach.
Yes.
Glad to
happy
have
birthday, Zach. Boy, am I glad that you were born 58 years ago today.
You make my Freemasonry better, Zach. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. I don't need free in my Masonry as long as you're in it. I'll pay all day long.
And your Excel spreadsheets inspire me, unlike other spreadsheets.
I'm telling you. Yes. We've seen other spreadsheets from other people.
Hey, come on. That's it. Now y'all are laying out a little thick. Nobody likes Excel that much.
But I've never seen the charts come with those spreadsheets.
Zach should enter the spreadsheet Olympics.
What?
There's the spreadsheet Olympics. Look it up. There's an Excel.
My goodness.
I kid you not. Look it up. It's a real thing.
I think you, Zach, and Jason, all three need to be in it. That is so funny.
See, it looks like Jason was trying to ignore us, but actually he was in his spreadsheet. Like he has a spreadsheet for how many times we ripped on him. He's like, okay, let's update those numbers. He's
okay.
He's gonna give us a chart on that.
Don't look at the reflection in my glasses because I am actually looking at a spreadsheet.
The Elks versus the spreadsheet. How many times are we gonna mention it? Oh, that's funny.
Oh man. All right. Who has not done final thoughts yet? Larry, Brother Parham, you got anything?
Well, this is my first time on the show, and I've been watching quite a while. But I'm glad to be on
with us.
And I'm looking forward to the dinner and listening to Zachary. And thank you so much. You have a good evening.
You too. Thank you for coming on, brother.
Absolutely.
And I just noticed as I clicked over to look at, Kadeem.
Kadeem Lowe, one of our long-term Inner Circle members, probably one of the very first ones we ever had. And he is on the show tonight, blessing us with his presence. How are you, my brother?
I'm doing well, bro. How are you?
Doing good. You must be working.
Yeah, but I wanted to catch the live tonight, so I'm happy to be here.
We're happy you're here, bro. I look forward to hopefully see. Are you gonna be at Grand Lodge?
Oh yeah, can't miss that one, and the dinner too. I'm hoping to be at the dinner.
Yes.
Awesome.
You'll be at the dinner.
Awesome.
I'll make sure you get that link. Don't worry.
Man, I heard so many good things about that dinner. I want to experience it too.
Yeah, I followed up with Megan like a few days before Christmas, and she emailed me back. She said she was holding off because of the holidays. I guess she was taking some personal time or something.
She sent a couple of people links over the holidays, but not very many at all.
Yeah. But as long as everybody gets it.
I'll check with her tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've been kind of lazy about it myself. I've been in a lot of pain waiting on my surgery. But y'all go ahead.
You had it though, right?
No, I did not.
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you about that after.
Okay. Tom, you got anything tonight? No? All right. Brother Jeff, you got anything?
Jeff Calgar, it's been a long time since you've been
on.
Oh,
wait, no, well, either Jeff. We got two Jeffs on here. Messner and Calgar.
I'll go just to kind of finish up from Josh and Jason's comments. So Mason was sitting over in the northwest corner and then decided to come and sit next to us. He ended up sitting next to Jason, and the guy next to him, while Zach was giving the lecture, Mason was sitting up from the back row and looking at the floor and paying attention, because Mason also received the long form of the master's lecture when he got his master's degree. And the guy sitting next to him, not Jason, kept telling him, "Oh, don't worry about it. It's in the monitor. Oh, don't worry about it. It's in the monitor." And finally, Mason said, I finally turned and looked at him and said, "I got the long form of the lecture and I didn't appreciate it as much as I do now. So let me listen to it." And he said the guy quit. He said the guy finally quit talking.
That's
funny. But I think that when I saw that this call was happening tonight, and the first thought that went through my head was that I really was hopeful that I'd get the chance to share the beauty of what so many of us got to witness on Saturday. And we laugh about fish fries and tartar sauce and gun raffles and scholarships and cutting the grass and the building fell apart and all of these things. But man, when the craft comes together like it did on Saturday, you know what? I'll help with a fish fry. I'll help paint a wall. I'll sell tickets, right? Because that was an extremely special degree. In the way that the way that I came to, the way that I came to know about it, and then was able to fit it into my schedule. And it was a long day. It was early, right? Because we had to leave LaGrange. Gosh, we were on the road by, a little after 5:30. But if you want hope for masonry, then just go through those posts from Saturday, because that's that was an extremely special day. And then get to see so many guys that, honestly, if you don't go to Grand Lodge or some grand observance, you're probably not going to see a lot of those guys. So it was a really special day. And I'm, as the others have said, I was extremely fortunate to have been part of that. But there is hope. We should all have hope, and it's the moments like Saturday that we should be more hopeful for more of those.
Nice.
Gotta have hope, otherwise, yeah, I agree with you. Brother, Mike, do you have something? You don't go and do yours?
Yeah, I'll jump in real quick. Been kind of quiet over here, just listening to everybody, but I've been thinking a lot about kind of leveling up, in terms of education. And, is leveling up, is that a change or is that just a natural evolution? Because I think there's an important conversation around that relates to, where I grew up in Detroit with the auto industry, they introduced a car like Honda Accord used to be the entry-level Honda. Mm-hmm. And then they leveled that up to where it's like a mid-level sedan, and they brought in the Civic down here. And so for me, it kind of relates to the conversation that we've been having up here around kind of the difference between a Mason and an architect. If we're in the business of, which one is it ultimately? If we're not making architects, who is? And, an architect is somebody who manages masons. And so that, what I liked about that picture is the same tools kind of for both professions, but ultimately one is a gentleman's profession where he's at a table, he's drawing up plans, he's talking with guys. And the other one is the person who's, who's cutting rocks and her, is at, I don't want to say a different level, but, because but it is kind of a hierarchy in a sense within society that relates to the conversation about what's changed over the last couple 100 years that we had last time. And, I realize I'm kind of all over the place, just trying to sort my thoughts out, but, I appreciate the live tonight. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for your thoughts on that. Yeah, real quick, you made me think of the installation ceremony here in Texas, and there's a part, I thought it was the Worship Master, and I'll butcher it because I don't have it in front of me, but it basically says, no one should be jealous of him because we have to recognize there's a place, there's a role for leadership and there's a role for doing the work, and both are necessary. And so, yeah, I'm going to give a lot of thought to what you just said. I like that a lot. So thank you for sharing that. Brother Calgary, you got anything?
Yeah, I just want to wish my Texas brothers a good Grand Lodge, maybe fruitful and productive. I know our grand senior warden is heading down your way.
Oh, nice.
I'll have to point him to the show you did a few weeks back about your bylaws.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. What's his name?
Mark Reeder.
Mark Reeder. Okay.
Mark Reeder. Well,
Very
tell him
cool.
to look for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that. Brother Hoff, did you already do your final thought? Am I missing anybody? Okay.
I just want to say publicly, thank you, Daniel, for the gift. It means a lot to me. Really appreciate this. Thank you.
That's a beautiful gavel.
Welcome, Brad.
Hang on, show it back off again.
He didn't give us any gavels. I mean, golly.
Well, I don't expect one, but I want to see the one that Brad got.
Oh, I'm talking about Daniel. He hadn't given me a gavel.
Yeah, well,
and we've given him all this enlightenment.
I mean, it's nice. I've seen bigger, but whatever.
Come on, let me see the gavel again.
No, start talking, Brad. I'm sorry. We're let them see the gavel.
It's right here. Can you see
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Is that acacia?
But we can't until one of you knuckleheads starts talking.
It's right here, Dick. Right where it's full.
Spin it around if you would, please, sir. Man, that is beautiful.
Man. What about
what kind of wood is that? Is that oak or acacia or
it's walnut?
A walnut, okay.
The finest cork money
nice
can buy.
You don't want to be too strong with that gavel. You have a soft gavel so you can just go, boys,
just tap.
Settle.
All right, well, I'll go to my final thoughts. As always, I appreciate everybody. Appreciate all you coming on. We had a good show tonight. We had a good turnout. We had some good conversation. The chat was pretty quiet, but that's okay because we made up for it. We practiced our Freemasonry here this evening, and I enjoy having each of you and your company that you offer and your thoughts that you share. Yeah, I just we covered a lot tonight, and it was good stuff. And I guess where my mind is as we're wrapping this up is it's really easy to get frustrated, but you can't give up hope. Hope's important, and I like that a lot. You can't give up hope, but it's really easy to get frustrated. And Freemasonry is moving in the right direction, but like any large organizations, it changes direction slowly. It moves slowly, and the issue isn't necessarily the momentum. It's getting people on. You are a product. Let me back up a little bit. As an individual, you are a product of the environment you're raised in, right? The home you're raised in, the things your parents taught you, where you went to school, the kind of friends you had, the neighborhood you lived in. These are all things that shape you into the adult you are now. As Masons, we are products of the environment we are raised in. The brothers in our lodge, the environment in our lodge, the culture of our lodge, they all shape us. And so by the time you're a Master Mason, you have certain notions. You have certain beliefs about what Freemasonry is, what it should look like, and how it should be practiced. And the longer you do those things, the harder it is for anybody to change your mind. It's like that analogy of those people in that lifeboat. If I've been watching lifeboats sink and everybody's doing the same thing, well, that just has to be the destiny of all these lifeboats. And that's not the case. And so that's why I was harping earlier on, and it sounds so condescending, but that's why I was harping earlier on teaching these people the basics of what Freemasonry is, because you have to establish that ground floor, and then you can get into deeper stuff. But I think that's the push we have to start doing, because if we really want to move Freemasonry in the right direction, you have members in lodges that don't even know what Freemasonry really is. So how can you expect them to help you move? And that's really what it comes down to. You have to have help. One guy can't change Freemasonry. One guy in every lodge can't change Freemasonry. It has to be all the members of the lodge. And you can't ask them to help you move Freemasonry in the right direction if they don't know what Freemasonry even is, and they don't know what the right direction looks like. But you have to start with what is Freemasonry and why is it important that we move in this direction. And that's just kind of where my headspace is lately, because it's very disheartening sometimes, and it's easy to lose hope when you look around your own lodge. I've been doing this for 8 years, and nobody, well, Tom is probably the exception. Nobody in my lodge knows anything about what we talk about here. I give presentations, but they don't know anything about it. And in my districts, I'm a district instructor. I'm trying to think real quick. Nobody in my district watches this stuff. I talk about it. I share education. Nobody watches it. And so my point is, I'm not saying people need to watch Masonic Improvement, even though they should. That's not the point. My point is, people are not moving the bar. We're not moving the bar in Freemasonry. I don't care if you watch this show, but pick up a damn book. But they're not doing that. We have to start with the basics of what Freemasonry is and start pushing these people, because I really like what Scott said. We all said yes to that page. We all said yes to it, or we should have. It should have been read to us. And in doing so, that means that we signed that allegorical line saying we agreed to do these things. We have to start pushing. We have to push back. And that's where I think we are. Like, we've educated. Now it's time to start pushing. We got to push. Got to start pushing. And just like what I was telling you about that other lodge, where this is how we do it. And if you think you would come in here and tell us otherwise, it's not going to, this is not the place for you. This is what Freemasonry is. And this is how we need to establish how our lodges practice Freemasonry. And if anybody comes in, I don't care if they're new or they've been there 100 years and they push back on that, it's not the place for them. It's not the place for them, because this is a Masonic temple where our brotherhood meets in this community. And if you want to do something else, if you want to bring some kind of twisted version of Freemasonry into this temple, you need to take it somewhere else. And I'm being a jerk about it, but I've been nice about it for a long time. And I don't know. I'm just kind of at that point. So anyway, like I said, I'm jaded. But I appreciate all you coming on, as always. I love and respect all of you. And thank you for coming on and I might as well point it out. If you're not a member of the Inner Circle, and if you want to be a part of this kind of conversation, we've had quite a bump lately, and I figured out why. But if you want to be a part of this conversation, I don't know how many people showed up tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like 10 of us.
We had like 12.
12 of us.
Yeah,
I mean, dang, that's more than some lodges get. If you want to be a part of this So if you'll be a part of this conversation, hit that join button down there and reach out to us on Facebook, and we'll get you added to the Facebook group. And that's where we post all the Zoom links and everything. So join the Inner Circle, join the Facebook group, and you can get involved with this. And we look forward to having conversations with you. That's all I got.
All right. So, I would like to start with the idea that Jeff Messer spoke on, and that was, the fact of the hope. Seeing all those brothers together, it can't help but to inspire you. And the beauty of the lesson of that was that, no, it wasn't. And I get it that you'd be willing to do those things to contribute to that kind of gathering. But it didn't require that. What it took to have that kind of gathering was brotherly love and affection. Understanding at the core what Freemasonry is by Brother Carlton Newberry. That brother, he just exudes brotherly love and affection everywhere he goes. I love him to death.
He's a great guy.
He and I are close brothers, and I absolutely love him, and he knows it. And I'm disappointed that I've been having the issues I've been having lately, but I wasn't able to make that journey all the way to Houston and back on Saturday. But I sure do miss that I wasn't there, because I saw the picture of just the 2022 guys that were there, and all of the DDGMs and people that were on the team in 2022 that were there. And there was at least 30 of us of our team there, which is wonderful. I mean, that's just, and yes, 2022. I can't help it. It was the best year in Freemasonry in over 100 years. I can't help that. But that was my year of being DDGM, and I don't ever need to be a DDGM because I got to share in that year. Josh, don't be hating. So
good for you, Dennis.
But anyways, and the face that you're giving online, I can see that as I speak.
2022.
But another thing I would like to say is that brotherly love and affection. It's also what brings us all together on this show. We're not a huge echo chamber. A lot of us have a lot of the same thoughts, but we don't have exactly the same thoughts. And so like Jeff was talking about earlier, he's willing to do those fish fries. And I know that there are other brothers on this show right now that are willing to do the same. I know that because I know them and I still love them. But because we love and respect each other, we still get together and we share these we come together on those commonalities, and we're able to discuss the things that aren't so common between us. And through that, we're able to become sharper individuals and better humans as we go through life. And that's the core of Freemasonry. Brother Mike was talking about earlier, trying to articulate what he meant about the architects. And he said it perfectly in the chat, and I wanted to share this. And he said, I guess where I was going is that originally, back in the early 1700s, this was a brotherhood of architects, really, a sophisticated men who managed and formed Masons, more so than the fellowship of Masons per se. And maybe we need to get back to that. And I completely agree. We need to focus on, or a large part of what we do should be the focus on educating ourselves and sharpening ourselves with each other. That it requires that interpersonal relationship to build ourselves up. And it's a very giving process, but it's also a very selfish process. And as we go, we have to be selfish in it, that we're willing to jump in there and demand what we expect from Freemasonry today so that we can get better. Otherwise, it might just pass us by and we won't get it, and we'll end up going home. So we have to be selfish in that respect, but at the same time, we have to be extremely humble and willing to share and to give just as much as we're expecting to receive. It's very important that we have that altruistic side as well. And I say that side because it's not altruistic to do anything in a selfish nature. Altruistic is completely selfless in your acts. And that's how we should be when approaching our brothers and trying to help and assist, help aid and assist in their endeavors and in their life and building them up. But we do have to be a little bit selfish on what our expectations are within our temples and our lodges, so that we can be built up, so that we do have that environment, that culture, and which is the difficult thing to change. It's always difficult to change culture, to change that culture to where it is a nurturing environment, to where we can learn and so that we can best work and agree. I pride myself in surrounding myself with people that, number one, they truly understand me in because I'm completely honest in everything I say and do. Even though we don't agree on a lot of things, I pride myself in the fact that I still make that connection with those brothers so that we can help each other to become better. Does it mean that they're going to bow to my will? No. Does it mean I'm going to bow to theirs? No. What it means is that I am willing to change my mind. I've said this 100 times before. I'm willing to change my mind at any given time. You just have to give me a compelling reason to do it. And so I like to surround myself with people that are willing to have that debate and challenge each other so that we can come to the best result for the greater good. Now, that is the most important thing in Freemasonry, in my opinion. It's called the greater good. You know, many times we go through this thing, and I see a lot of people that falter in this. And I got to tell you, at one point, I was one of these people. They falter in thinking that the hierarchy of the lodge is emblematic of us being better, and it's not. It makes you no different than anybody else. But people are put into the chairs too soon, and so they tend to miss a lot of the lessons that their position is a position of servitude. And that's where we lose a lot of the genuineness and sincerity between brothers. And that's where we lose a lot of brothers going back home because they're not interested in showing up anymore. There's a lot of things we need to work on. And it's not just our differences in culture of how we think a lodge should be run. Most of it has to do with our approach to life and our selfish or selfless behavior. I am really grateful for all you brothers here on this YouTube channel that joins us each week and day in and day out, listening to our show. All of you Inner Circle members, you know, most of you guys have been around for years, and we do have a few new faces, but you know, some of them aren't that new, but they're a little bit new. But most of the guys on here tonight were guys that have been supporting us for years, and I am so grateful for that. And I don't take that lightly. That's why, you know, we're doing the Masonic Improvement Dinner. That's why we've done it the last 3 years in a row, because we want to give you an experience to where you can meet some of the mentors that we've had throughout our journey. Because if you're willing to show up to Grand Lodge, where there is that opportunity for people to get together all across the state, I want you to have that opportunity to meet my mentors and to see the kind of people that helped turn me into the Mason I am today. Because the Mason I am today is completely different from the Mason I was, you know, 15 years ago. No, it wasn't 15 years, it's 14 years.
You're welcome.
Yeah, 14, no, 15 years now. Golly. So I'm a completely different Mason today because of the Justin Joneses out there that, you know, every time he says something, I gain confidence because I realize I'm smarter than him. So he helps me.
I always say don't be the smartest person in the room.
I know, right? Then you're in the wrong room. But anyways, I'm rambling now. Brothers, I appreciate you. I love you. Zach Haston is going to be our guest speaker at our Masonic Improvement Dinner. I truly love him, and he is another one of those brothers that, you know, I can talk all the shit I want to talk, but if he tells me, hey, you might want to take another look at this, I'm going to take another look at it, because I know he loves me, and I know he's probably right, and I'm probably
You better look and look quick.
He's got the numbers to back him up.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I love Zach. But anyways, I'm so honored and proud that he's going to be at our dinner. For those of you that have not gotten the link to pay for your dinner yet, make sure and reach out to me. I had a small list that I had on the chat that I had of people that hadn't been reached out to yet, but there are others that may have fallen through the cracks as well. If that's the case, let me know, because I am going to be working on that diligently this week, because I need to get those orders in for all the members. We have our own room, our own entrance. It's actually our own dining hall. It's huge. We have our own bartender, our own wait staff. And we're going to be talking Freemason. We talk all the time about book time and travel time. And I had one view on the lodge, and I joined several lodges trying to find a different view, but they were all the same lodges in the same district. I didn't get a wider, broader view until I started traveling. And then I didn't realize that there was something wrong with my Freemasonry until I started reading and realized that I didn't know the stuff that I was supposed to know. If you don't know what you don't know, then there's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what you don't know, then you can come up with a plan and a solution, which in my opinion is book time and travel time. There's nothing wrong with the little lodges out there, nothing at all. But we need more, because a lot of those lodges don't offer what Freemasonry is in its entirety. They're only offering a little smidgen of what Freemasonry is. That is part of Freemasonry, but it's just a smidgen. So book time and travel time. Other than that, I love you guys. Thank you for coming on, and keep it between the points.